I will present you a new feature in BTCPay Server that I think lots of you will be very excited, and I am very excited about it. And it's called subscription. So as the name implies, it means that you will be able to easily manage recurring payments for your services. Let's take an example. So I click here. You see there is a new entry subscription here. And I will say, for example, I will call that my software as a service offering. So first, in a subscription, you create an offering. So there is different example of offering. So it could be, for example, access to your newsletter, to a weekly financial report, a recurring donation to support your favorite open source project. It could be like to control access to your own BTCPay server. So this is something that is covered in another section called monetization, or you have your own software as a service product and you want to allow people to pay you monthly. So first you create an offering. So what I'm selling, so right now I'm selling access to a software as a service product. I will create a fake one already done, so it will be easier to explain to you what's going on. So when you create a new one, so here I created 3 plan. So this is an example. Of course, the first time you will create an offering, there will be no plan. You will be the one that will need to create them from scratch. But in this example, I say, okay, my software as a service has 3 plan: basic, pro, enterprise. And it's really a way for you to segment your user base. So if they are rich, they will pay the enterprise plan and have additional features. I will show you the different configuration option that you can find for your offering. Here you have the button configure. And in your offering, you have basically a name, a success redirect URL. So where basically by default, where your user will be redirected when he paid for his subscriptions. And you can put a list of features. So those features, it's really an example, but it's when you will integrate with subscriptions. Your integration will decide what the meaning of those features. So it's really up to the integration. So for example, here in my software as a service product, I have a different tier of analytic dashboard. So for example, an analytic dashboard 0 is for basic, 1 is for advanced analytic, and X is for like custom analytics and reporting. So I will show you is for the best plan. So email support, payment processing, like what security feature you have, if you have transaction limit. So it's really an example. You can put whatever is relevant to your case and you configure that at the offering level. When you create a plan, so I will show you here. For example, let's take a look at the basic plan here. Let's go to edit the plan and see a bit what you can do there. So of course you can decide the name, you can decide the price, the currency, the recurring. So if you want to have a lifetime subscription, you can do this. And you can decide a trial period essay days. So when your customer will first subscribe to this plan, like do you give him some trial days or not? And there is a grace period. So for example, if you arrive at the end of a period and you don't want to cut access directly to your customer, you want to give him like a bit of a margin to pay. So for example, 7 or 14 days, then it's called the grace period. So you can put them here. You can put a small description. You can decide an optimistic activation. So you do what you want, but basically this allows to start the subscription as soon as the customer is paying, even if, for example, if it's on chain, payment has not been confirmed yet, you will activate the subscription. And if it failed to confirm, then it will disable the accounts and you will have to manually sort that out. I think most of people are kind of honest, so they don't try to game this. So that's why you can put that. It's not by default. If you're interested, you can check it. You can decide if this plan is renewable or not. For example, you can have, for example, an introduction plan that you cannot renew. That is only 3 months if you decide to do so. You can then on your plan you can decide. You can allow your subscriber to downgrade or upgrade to different plans. So here you will see all the different plan. If it's an upgrade or a downgrade, I will show where it play later. And more importantly, you can say, okay, this basic plan has analytic feature, it may support payment processing and a small transaction limit. So you basically like configure your plan as you see fit. So if I check the pro plan, for example, you can see that you can downgrade to the basic plan and you can upgrade to the enterprise plan. So when you arrive this, where you start, so of course there is an API that I think most of the user will use to incorporate with their services, but you can of course use the UI here to manage your subscriber and create new subscribers. So let's see how it starts. So for example, I want to create a new user. I will add to my basic plan, just for the sake of the example, I will add a 7-day trial period. And I will say, okay, I will create a new subscriber. And so this window will allow you to, for example, put the email of the customer that you want to, the subscriber you want to create. You can leave it blank and let the customer fill it later if you want. And if you want to enable the trial or not. So for the sake of the example, I will say yes. And this page actually doesn't really create your subscriber right away. It creates what we call a plan checkout page. So let's see how it looks like. Let's do create. So this is a plan checkout. And when the subscriber completes this, it will create a new subscriber here. So actually I see there is a small bug here. I will fix it for the release, don't worry. But you can as well open that on your phone. For example, it's very useful if your user is on a browser, but his wallet is on mobile, then you can open this page on the mobile if you want. And your user will be able, for example, to say, okay, I'm guest@gmail.com and proceed to free trial. Boom. So when I did this, it created a subscriber. And what you can see is that this subscriber is in trial. So here I'm in a test version of BTCPay Server, so that's why you see test. But actually you can, by yourself, you can mark a user as test as well. It will help you to integrate that to your service. I will show you why. And one important thing is that every subscriber can access their portal. So same thing, there will be an API for that, and later I will show you an example of integration with monetization. But if I go to this portal, you will see that it's typically the same thing as the managed billing that you can see in Stripe, for example. So the customer can see which plan is in, if it's activated or not, if it's in trial. And you can see it can add credit to their balance. So what's this concept of credits? So the problem that I want to solve is in crypto, there is no way to automatically pull money out of a customer. There is ways, but they are not unified on different payment methods. So if it's off-chain or on-chain, it will be different. So basically, I needed to find a concept that allow people to pay in a recurring way without with a UX that is understandable by everybody. And the UX that is understandable by everybody is to have this credit concept. So if the users say, okay, I want to subscribe for like, I don't want to be bothered for one year, then he can decide to pay in advance. So for example, let's say 290 credit, he proceeds to payment and it will add to his balance. You can see that he's in basic plan, and in basic plan, if you remember, there is 2 upgrade possible in the pro plan and to an enterprise plan, and you can click that to upgrade in any time. When he upgrades, it will what will happen is that his the parts that, so for example, imagine that he tried to upgrade on after 15 days. Imagine there is no trial. You try to update after 15 days. What will happen is that $15 will be reimbursed to him, and he will be able to pay the pro plan, but he will get the $15 back. So let's say an example. So imagine, for example, that there is 7 days that is passing. So my user is a test user. That's why I have this option here, but in reality you don't have. It's just to showcase. So let's say move to 7 days. And you can see that now is expired. So if he's expired, of course, he doesn't have any credit. If he had credit, then it will automatically be renewed for the next period. Okay, he can decide to disable this by clicking here. And let's say, okay, for example, he will want to renew. Oh, I didn't set up my... So this error that you see is because my store didn't have any wallet set up. So I will set it up right now. Okay, so if I come back to my portal, I do pay now. So this will create you this invoice, and imagine that the customer is paying. Let's mine a transaction. If you come back here, you can see that now his plan is active. There is a pending invoice. Why? Because it has not been confirmed, but I mean minor block. So normally it should go away now. And what you will see is that if you scroll down, you will see the history of everything that happened. So here you can see that he purchased some credits. That's what he did when he paid the invoice. And then the credit was used to start the basic plan. So now let's say there is 7 days that 7 days are passed. Okay, let's fake it. And now let's imagine that the user want to upgrade to the pro plan, for example. What will happen is that the new plan costs this amount of money, but there is a refund that will go back to the credit of the user. So basically what he need to pay is around this amount of money. So he upgrade. Okay, let's go back. And now you will see that the user is not in the basic plan anymore, is in the pro plan. So, and as you can see, you can follow here what's happening. There is a credit purchase, and he upgraded to the pro plan for this amount. Why it is this amount is because a little bit of money has been paid back to this user as he canceled his basic plan. So other feature I want to show you. So let's go back to our store. I go to my offering, subscriber. Okay. You can decide if you want to give some gift to your user or like whatever. You can decide as a merchant to credit him directly here or to charge him. Okay. At any time, you can decide to suspend access to your subscriber. You can put a reason so your subscriber will be able to see it. So let's suspend it. And if when the user go to his portal, he will see that his access has been suspended for some reason. Of course, you can unsuspend him whenever you want. And that's it. Last part I want to show you is mails. Here you have a tab that is called mails. So this is emails that can be automatically sent to your subscriber depending on certain conditions. So for example, right now my store didn't have any email server configured, so I will configure it right now. I have a MailPit, so it's for testing, but of course you can use Gmail, Yahoo, Mailgun, whatever you want. So let's try. If I refresh this page, we are back. And here you can add rules. So basically you can start firing some emails whenever something happens. So for example, if you want a payment reminder for your user, 3 days before expiration, you can add a rule here. So you can customize your email, but whatever you want. Here you have a number of placeholder that you can use for your email. You do whatever you want, and you can see that this email will be sent to your subscriber. When you are happy with it, you just save. Okay. And now you have your first email rule. So let's try, for example, imagine that I go to my guest user in this portal. Let's say, for example, that we move to 3 days before expiration by clicking this. Your user will receive a new email here that says this is a reminder for your upcoming subscription payment. Of course, you can put link back to your service account management page and whatever you want. There is no problem on this. So I just show a bit the rules. So anytime that a page change to a certain state, you can do that. If the customer get charged, credits, disable, activate it when the plan starts, or when they just join your service. And that's about it. So once again, this feature is more a feature for to integrate with your own SIS product or whatever you are selling as a merchant. And I advise you to see the next video about monetization. So the typical example of monetization, we will use this concept of subscription for selling access to your own BTCPay server. So stay tuned. Bye.